Okay, let's get into a more serious conversation about the EFF and who Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Let me first start by saying, because I don't like pointing out that I voted EFF as if that is justifying what I'm going to say next. But you guys know I'm an EFF guy. That's the party that I voted for. If it is the party I will vote again, that's another question. I was very much disappointed with the EFF after the elections when they came out and accepted the results without a fight like the MK did. Because I strongly felt that the EFF on the ground is a bigger party than the DA. I do not believe that the EFF has got less supporters than the DA. So to see the EFF accept the results, it was, for me, I did not understand that move. And also another thing that I was not happy with the EFF is when they came out, and this is my personal opinion, personal views. You can feel free to differ on the comment section. Is when the EFF came out, they said, we are no longer going to, it's the CIC. He said, we are no longer going to be running up and down when people call us when there is a racism or there is unfair dismissals or anything. As the EFF, we are no longer going to run up and down because the people are using the EFF to fight their own battles. But on the ballot paper, they are not voting for us. Then I said, but it means those things, you are doing them not in principle, but for votes. So because you didn't get the votes, now you are saying we are no longer going to do those things. Even though to their credit, one about busy in the tuck shops and everywhere, you see the EFF is still busy doing those type of things, but not in the type of aggression and radicalism that they used to do in the past. They have dumbed down a little bit as the EFF. So I did not agree with those things. But I wanted to say this. The propagandas that have been pushed here on social media to try and kill the image of the EFF, I don't want, and I will not be part of that nonsense. I've got a special place in my heart for the EFF, and I want the EFF to do well. I want the EFF to do well. In fact, I'm saying as far as we need the EFF to do well as African people. This is the political party of our lifetime. It's not like the ANC, the party of our mothers and grandmothers. The EFF here to Tina, the young generation. So I want the party to do well. But I'm getting worried now in terms of this thing of saying defend the EFF by any cost means necessary. And I'm starting to see fighters losing the plot in fighting opposite views or different views from theirs. There are other views that must not be. Like if King feels like the MK party is doing well and whatever, it's not a matter that the EFF people have to fight. Now King says so's podcast and say the podcast is an MK podcast because it has a different view from yours. You understand what I'm saying? It looks like because I was not aware what was happening with Dr. Sizwe Mpofu Welsh in terms of people saying that podcast is now an MK podcast, and apparently Sizwe Mpofu Welsh said he has been inviting the EFF people and they have not been coming in. EFF fighters are saying, please name them. Why? No, the issue is not naming them. He's saying, I've invited people of the EFF to come. They have not honored the invitation. So why are you fighting Sizwe Mpofu Welsh? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Leave the man alone. Oh, everyone is entitled to have different opinions. That's why we've got people in the Patriotic Alliance. We've got people in the ATM. We've got people. That's the nature of politics. And remember, that was formed in a manner that we as Africans must continue to be divided. We must continue to fight each other. Now, I'm not saying when someone attacks the EFF, you guys must not defend it. Absolutely not. Defend the EFF. But the city press and all those newspapers have come out to say Ndlozi is being banned from the NPA. Now you guys are saying Ndlozi must say something to clarify what the newspapers are saying. No, Ndlozi is not the spokesperson of the EFF. The spokesperson and the president of the EFF can clarify that matter easily with one tweet. with one X, and then the issue is clarified. Why is it that the EFF allows these newspapers to sell? Because people are going to buy those newspapers, because South Africans, they're going to buy those newspapers in the hopes to read what is going on in there. And when you read inside, there's actually nothing. There's no credible sources that gave them information. You understand what I'm saying? So Ndlozi says something, then people are going to say Ndlozi is trying to kill the EFF. Ndlozi does not say anything, then Ndlozi is wrong. Come on, guys. Let's be fair. Let's be fair on Dr. Ndlozi. And if indeed, somewhere, sometime in the future, Dr. Ndlozi is going to leave, for me, it's fine that he is keeping quiet. He's not the party. It's not in his place to say something. You've got a spokesperson. Liane, is it Liane? Let her say something. Let her say something. Not Ndlozi. Ndlozi, anything he says now, because we don't know how much those claims are true. Maybe it is true that he is indeed banned from Tenyo. So if it is true, why would you want him to say anything? What is that anything going to help instead of dividing the EFF even further? Anything that he says is people are going to attack him. So the silence is a silence of peace, actually. You understand? So let Ndlozi do whatever he wants. And if you like Ndlozi as a person, like myself, it doesn't matter which political party he is. If Ndlozi now decides to go to the ANC, I still like Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, as a person. It's not a political thing. I love that man. I love the way he articulates his ideology of politics. I love him. It's the same with Vuyo Zungula. It doesn't matter which political party he is. And that is the danger of sitting under a political umbrella. You make other people who are outside your political party enemies. And I'm warning you, fighters, I'm saying, let's be careful, Guti. This thing does not divide us, even as African people, even further. The EFF is not doing well right now. The EFF needs to go back to the table, drawing table after this National People's Assembly, and then redraw a strategy on how to counter everything that is happening to them. But we are not going to be scared to point out that the EFF is not doing well because fighters want to, attack us on the conversation. It doesn't work like that. We have done the same with the ANC. We have warned the ANC for countless years that you guys, what you are doing, you're going to kill the party. Look where they are today. They never took the advice. You understand what I'm saying? And the same goes with COPE. The same goes with other political parties. So when it comes to the EFF, we must be fearful in pointing out our opinion. Mind you, our opinion can be right or wrong. Your opinion can also be right or wrong. Come on, guys. Let's not get low to that level. It's cultural to know we as African people, whether you are in the EFF, the MK, the DA, wherever, we suffer the same things. Our children start from zero. Legacies are not left for our children. They don't start with a farm. They don't start with a father with a multi-million shares in big companies. They don't start with a father that has got shares in mines. They don't start with that. All our children suffer because of the skin color that they have. They have to claw themselves up. Especially us who stay in the townships. Us who are from the townships. Our children has to fight for better education, everything. We as African people work so hard to go and buy a car in our 30s. For other races, a car is just a toy and necessity that they need there in the car, in the house. They grow up in the garage that has got multiple cars. So it doesn't matter if the EFF fights the MK or whatever. So let's not allow these propagandas to make us fight each other. And I'm saying to the content creators, all the content creators, especially our African content creators, let's be careful not to put a fire on things that want to kill our black parties, especially the EFF. Remember, the EFF is hated by the enemy. If the EFF is hated by the enemy, then the EFF is doing something right. That one we must never shy away from saying. We must never shy away from saying that. So it is our job, whether you're an EFF, MK, whatever supporter, to protect these parties that they are our enemies fear. Angazi tolerate or nizongithola later. Okay, some of you nizongithola later. Anyway, let me just leave that one there because it was something close to my heart that I'm starting to notice in the comment section that EFF fighters are very reckless and of course trying to defend their political party, rightfully so. But I'm saying let's do it in a reasonable manner, fighters. I hope ningizwa, but maningangizwa nizongitshela my comment section so that we can deliberate on it a little bit further if necessary.